let's remember, we are in the business of make-believe. So there is no limit to what you can make believe. Go as far as you can go. One of the things I always tend to do when I show up to do anything is show up with too much. It's way easier for a director to ask you to drop this, drop that, don't use this, don't do that, than it is for him to try and pull something out of you that you haven't figured out or you need to figure out because he's trying to pull the performance out of you. Show up with too much shit. It's easier to drop something than it is to find something and pick it up. The actor-director relationship in the movies, there's a couple different things. Because you have guys who are shooters and you have guys who are writer-directors and you have guys who are lucky to be there. So, the shooters hired you and they're glad you're there because they're gonna leave you alone to do the performance so they can get it. All they're concerned with is composition of shot. They just wanna make sure they got their shot composed. And they trust you to do what you do. Those guys, I love them. Because, you hired me for a reason. And hopefully I'm gonna give you what you want. And you hired some other people that are gonna give you what you want. And everything's gonna be fabulous. All you gotta do is make sure you get it in the camera, shoot it. Writer-directors, depending upon who they are, sometimes they know what they wrote, and sometimes they don't. And hopefully they're not very precious about what they wrote, because one thing for sure, when you hire me, you're getting a black actor. And if you wrote it and you didn't see a black actor when you wrote it, or even if you saw one, sometimes what you put in my mouth is not how I talk. Depending upon what I read, you created a character who's a lot more educated than you allow him to speak. I can conjugate, and a lot of people can't. So I don't need you to write black vernacular for me. I can say what you want said, but you need to say it this way. If I'm from somewhere else, I can say it that way. But from what you have here and who this character is, he's a lot smarter and more educated than you made him speak. We don't all speak like somebody on a rap video. So I can fix that for you if you'll let me. And like I said, and then they're the lucky to be there ones. Sometimes they can be difficult because they're trying to figure it out and figure out, if I'm the director, does that mean I'm the boss? Or does that mean I need to listen to these people around me, because they've surrounded me with a good team? And there have been a few people who let that team work for them, and I worked for a few people who didn't let that team work for them, or who worked against that team. And, they got lucky anyway. The one thing I do know about directors is that the majority of the time on a movie set, the director is the person on the set that has been on the least number of movie sets. Everybody else has been on more movie sets than that director. And the smart ones know that, and they let everybody do their job because they've done it more and they know how to get it done. And, there are some that are not so smart that, get in the way of the process. But if you know that, and we know that that's a collaborative process, then let the people who know more do what they do, and they'll help you.